I think the overall speed of our football team was considerably different, and that's what made the difference in the football game. And we were able to make some good plays there and force some turnovers and take advantage of them.
Okay, well, questions? Front row on the left here.
Bob Berry, NBC, Oklahoma City. Mike, can you talk about your defense that had adversity in the last couple of regular season games? Pitched a shutout for the longest time today.
Our defense was really good, and they got some yards in the first half, but I thought our defense played very opportunistic, meaning that there were some key plays there were some times where our players made plays at key points in the game, and we were able to force those turnovers and get off the field. So I was really happy with those guys. I thought we tackled better. There were a few times the big guy kind of rumbled on us some, but in the open field, I felt like our tackling was much better than it was in the latter part of the season.
Okay, we're going fifth row, far right.
Myron Patton, Fox 25, Oklahoma City. Mike, I know it was early, but you had gone 3 and out on your first possession. They run a fake punt on their own 13 on 4th and 5. Did that serve any kind of notice that they're going to throw caution to the wind and you better go ahead and jump on these guys?
Well, when they faked that punt on their own 13, they certainly got our attention that they would be willing to do anything. And so it's a nice call on their part and not very good preparation on ours. We have seen them execute that fake and actually practiced it on Thursday. I know that nobody wants to hear that, but we worked it on Thursday. They blocked us. We had a couple guys there, and they blocked us very well and converted. And then we were able to stop them and then get the really good punt return by Josh.
Newey, Jim. Yeah. Second row there.
Newey Scruggs, NBC Dallas. Question for you, Coach Gundy. Last year, you win the conference, you win the Fiesta Bowl, you lose some very talented players. What did you learn about just your coaching staff and yourself having to come back and coach a different group of kids and still getting back to a January 1st bowl game and winning?
Well, as I said earlier, I'm very proud of our team. And in coaching, we enjoy spending time with the players and seeing the young ones develop, and then players that haven't gotten to play that much in games, developing them and coaching them. And really that's what our responsibility is in my opinion, good coaches can take the players that we have, find what they're best at, and put them in a situation to have success. And I think our assistant coaches did a really good job of that this season.
Front row on far right.
Jason Elmquist, Stillwater News Press. Clint, how surreal is this moment for you right now, going from third stringer to bowl MVP?
It's extremely surreal, like you said, but that's just, a symbol of the guys around me. The offensive line played well today, defense, receivers, everybody kind of, chipped in. We had a good punt return. Defense kept giving us short field, so we just tried to go out and capitalize on that, and Coach Gundy called a good game, got us in some good plays, and we just tried to execute.
Front row, far left.
Hey, Coach, Jimmy Trammell, Tulsa Whirl. In the spring, you tried out Josh as a punt return guy, and he dropped some. We didn't see him all year long as a punt returner until the bowl game. So was that just a twist you wanted, or you saw something you liked in Josh leading up to this game?
We've been resting him. Charlie Moore has been returning punts for us this season, and we felt like that Josh would be more explosive. And one of our concerns with Josh was the number of reps that he gets, not only in games but in practice. And I don't know for sure, but he's had, over 90 catches and close to 100. I don't keep up with all the stats, but I know that he's touched the ball a considerable number of times. And in practice, he gets a lot of work, and so we felt like we needed to save him and not put him in those situations, and he had come to us and said that he wanted to return punts in the bowl game, and so we put him back there and worked him. He did a nice job in practice, and we had Charlie there in case we needed him.
Fifth row, far right.
Myron Patton, Fox again, Oklahoma City. Daytwan, talk about your score, I guess fumble recovery or whatever, and just the defense's performance, considering how things have gone the last 2 weeks. You give up a lot of points, but you guys really controlled things today.
Well, they threw a little quick now, a little screen out. And Justin Gilbert, I mean, he just went up and fitted it up. And I was running over there to try to help him before he got the first down. And he just made a good play and stripped it out, and it popped right in my hands. So it really was credit to Justin Gilbert on that. And I just ran it in. And as far as our defense, when we get turnovers, we're a different team. That's why we know that's what we strive to do, is get 5 turnovers a game, and well, at least 3 to 5, and we did that today.
Far right, standing.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoma. And Dayton, Mike just talked about speed was part of the difference today. Can you talk about how different Purdue was from what you generally saw from Big 12 offenses during the year?
Their tempo was a lot slower. They played a lot slower tempo. It gave us time to get lined up, where most Big 12 teams, as soon as the play is over, they're running up to line up to run another play.
Fourth row in the center.
Steve Hunt, Dallas Morning News. Josh, you did a little bit of everything today. Just talk about the game you had.
Just kind of, I'm a type of player that when my name is called and my team need me to make a play, I just try to do my best to do that. And I mean, our whole team played good as a whole today, and we came out ready to play, and it just worked out in our hands, and we're happy for that.
Second row.
John Henry here on behalf of the Star Telegram in Fort Worth. Clint, there's been a lot of talk leading up to this bowl about the team's disappointment about slipping in the selection process. Did that turn out to be a motivating factor for you guys?
You know, first of all, we were happy to be going to a bowl, and especially to the Heart of Dallas Bowl, and we're happy to be here and play against Purdue. And I think, you know, some of the seniors and those guys would like to be in a better bowl, but at the end of the day, you just have to win more games in the regular season to do that. And so, you know, it could have been some motivation for some guys, but, you know, we're a highly motivated group. And so I just think everybody wanted to go out there and prove people wrong and, you know, show them that we could win a game like this.
Front row. Front row.
Barry, NBC Oklahoma City. Mike, talk about your game as play caller, how that went, and how efficient your offense was, especially in the touchdown pass. You actually had really good balance, 200-plus rushing, 300 passing.
Again, the players make the decisions in which plays we run. We give them a variety of plays, and over 50% of them, based on run pass, can be checked at the line. And these guys are responsible for it, and the receivers adjust routes based on coverage. And we had a collection of guys on the headphones that were making suggestions and play calls, and it worked out really well for us. We tried to stay balanced as we did, being able to rush for over 200 and throw for 300. But more importantly, when we take care of the football, we didn't put the ball on the ground one time. It makes such a big difference. And as D-Lo said, you force turnovers, and that's really when we've had our success over the last few years, and it was evident today. In taking care of the football, it makes a big difference.
Okay, in the rear.
Gina Mizell with the Oklahoman. Josh, Coach talks about how you came to him and said, I want to return punts. Can you, why'd you decide to do that, and just what was it like being out there, and what'd you see on the big return on your first one?
I just feel like I can make people miss in space, and then punt return, you just have so much space, and I felt like, why not give it a try, keep working at it, get better at it, try to help the team out. I mean, Charlie Moore was good at it. I mean, I just thought that it wouldn't hurt having 2 good punt returns, so I went in that. So.
Wendell.
Mike, Wendell Barnhouse, Big12Sports.com. What kind of tone can a bowl game set for the upcoming season? And you've been through this enough to probably know, you know, you win a game like this, does it set a tone for the next year?
These bowl games kind of lead you into winter workouts, and if you don't finish the season like you want to, we lost our last 2 games, winning the bowl game becomes more important, believe it or not. You know, if you finish strong and you play in a bowl game and you play well and you lose, it's not as fun, but it's not as big a factor as it is when you're playing in a bowl game. And we lost on the last play of the game to Oklahoma, and then had a shot there at the end against Baylor after getting really far behind. So to come back out and prepare and play well makes a difference going into winter conditioning.
We'll go to Barry.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. Josh, after your toss, are you prepared to enter the quarterback derby this spring?
Say that again?
Are you prepared to, after your pass today, are you prepared to enter the quarterback derby?
Oh yeah, I'm ready, man. Y'all better watch out. That's for sure.
Jenny.
Well, on that note, Mike, can you talk about your three guys? You got to see all three of your quarterbacks today, and what are your plans for them now as we head into the spring?
It worked out really well. Clint obviously took control of the game, and then JW came in and played and was able to run our base offense. Sometimes we throw, well, I shouldn't say sometimes. Times there's throws in a game when he's in, when the twos are in, and that's the only option we have versus the defense. And played very well, was able to run the ball and make some throws. And then that gave us a chance to get Wes in the game and let him execute our offense, run the ball or throw it based on what the defense gives us. And instead of just, well, the last series, we for the most part, just told him to hand the ball off, but we're not really set up to do that in our offense. We don't practice those plays. So it was good for all three guys to get some work.
Back of the room.
Gina Mizell again. Mike, to piggyback off that, obviously in the offseason you've got an offensive coordinator to hire. Just talk about what you expect over the next several weeks, and do you have a timetable on when you'll hire a new offensive coordinator?
I don't have a timetable. We still have some work to do. As a coaching staff, we've got a few days here, and then we're back on the road recruiting, and then obviously I've got to look into the hiring process. And I think what's important over the last few years that we've been in this situation is we're not going to change what we do on offense. So is it important? Is it an important hire? Yes, it is an important hire. But our principle and philosophy is going to stay the same.
We've got time for two more questions.
Mike, this is for you and Clint. Considering where you started on the depth chart beginning of the year and then how things have worked out, is this a good example? I'm sure you tell players if you keep working, keep trying, that things sometimes work out for you where you get your opportunity.
Well, no question. It's a feel-good story, and I don't think there's any reason why we should look at it any other way. Clint was in a difficult situation. We said that when we were in that position. And at some point, a young man has to reach down deep inside and decide what he wants to do and make a decision, and that's what Clint did. And, there were times that I'm sure it crossed his mind whether he really wanted to stick with it here or go play somewhere else. And we hoped he would. And believe it or not, the discussion took place that, you never know. You could be just one play away from getting out there and playing. Now, I think that most of us that follow college football know that sometimes that doesn't come true, but it did with Clint. And he's a very intelligent football player, and he stayed with it. His attitude was good. His body language was good. And when he had his opportunity to make plays, he did. And so, he gets all the credit. Not just because he's sitting here next to me, but, I don't have an issue with saying that publicly, which, I've said it for a month now. That's why he started the game, because when he had his opportunity, he played very well, and we played good as a team. We came up short a couple games, but he was playing well enough for us to win those games.
Okay, and this will be the last question right here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, for me, it was one of the people I look up to in my life is my brother, and he had a tough road. He went to JUCO and then came here and was, he was buried on the depth chart too, and I watched him fight through the same thing, get out and make some plays, and ended on a high note last year. And so for me, I've seen him do it, and I knew that I could do it, and so I just tried to, follow in his footsteps.
Look up to him mentally, not physically, right?
Yeah, I look down on him.
Down to him physically.
John?
Yeah, Mike, John Hoover, the Tulsa World. This may be a difficult question to answer today, but if you could you kind of project how you anticipate handling the quarterbacks in the spring? You've got three of them that have shown that they can play in games and have success. How do you anticipate that starting?
Well, the good news is I don't have to answer that. But Clint has finished the year strong, and we're going to work our quarterbacks just like we would any other position. But when we start out in the spring and they go running out there, Clint's going to go running out there just like he did today.